warm welcome to a brand new episode of Out and About with Julie. Now I'm super excited about today's episode. Matt and I are off to Northleach, which is a small town in the heart of the Cotswolds, and we're going to be visiting the Doll's House. Now I've had this planned for quite a few weeks now and I just cannot wait to get there and have a look around. So come on, let's go!
Go and park in the square.
Okay. Out the way, Crow. Looks like a nice town. Hello, thank you.
I was just going to put the kettle on. Would you like some coffee?
Oh, that would be lovely, thank you.
I get to have a little friend jumping up. Is that all right?
That's
all right,
fine,
that's
yeah.
fine.
I've got miniatures of my other dogs. Because Annie Willis used to come and stay with me. A week later she sent me a little box. And there was a Shih Tzu with his little hat on because he'd had a sore paw. And the terrier and another poodle I used to have. So I've got lovely memories of her.
Lovely. Okay, I'll start with the first question then. So, can you tell me where it all started and how you came to own a Doll's House shop?
I think I had a doll's house myself that came out of store at the end of the war, little Tudor one, trying one. No, it was really because I was married to somebody who had a model railway shop, and then I met Anne Griffith, who had started the Singing Tree later, but she told me that adults collect dolls' houses. So I was thinking of getting out of the model railway shop, and I thought of having traditional toys. I went round the toy fair and looked at spillikins and old-fashioned toys and things, and then I discovered miniatures, which are much better because they don't take up so much space.
Yeah.
So I got a little shop in Broadley Street, and next to Peter's model railway shop, and then I was in Liston Grove, and we sold a doll's house to Peter Snow because he used to drive past.
Oh, right.
And then I was offered Covent Garden, so I was there from 80 to 95.
Oh, wonderful. So you've been here for the last...
Yes, since 95.
Yeah, wonderful. So what are the differences between being in the Cotswolds and being in Covent Garden?
Well, it's bliss. Well, Covent Garden was quite fun at first because they chose a whole lot of privately owned artistic shops, but then they got pushed out and the chain stores moved in, so it's much nicer, and I still get a lot of people getting in touch, and a young man actually, he turned up and he'd known my shop in Covent Garden. He almost burst into tears, he was so excited to find my shop again.
And where do the Doll's Houses actually come from?
Oh, mostly I have second hand now, or antique.
Yeah. And do you advertise for them then? How do people know?
No, I keep on being offered them, or I found them online, yeah. Now, recently I found in a sale room they were selling the corner shop and a matching terraced house that Sue and Trevor Cook used to make for me.
Oh, right.
And I used to sell them when I was in Covent Garden. I've had several come through, so those turned up recently. I've just got to repair them. And when I was there, I sold one to some twins. The boy was given the shop, and a few months later the girl was given the house, and they were aged 8 at the time. And 10 years later, they sold them back to me.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so they wanted the money to go to university, so at 18, these pristine houses came back.
Aww.
Scooby, you can't come up as well. No.
Hey, Scooby. What houses do you love seeing coming into stock?
Oh, it's quite nice having some of my old ones coming back, because apart from the corner shop and the house, a little while ago I had a long sort of house and shop which was based on a property in Sudbury, where I used to live, and I remember selling one to a retired couple, and they used to change the shop every winter. In the summer they used to work on the garden, and in the winter they used to rearrange the shop. When the husband died, it had been so much part of their lives, the wife sold it back to me. And I found a good home. Somebody's jealous, wants to come out as well. Come on, Scooby. This little one came from Athens. She was found aged about 10, roaming the streets, probably chucked out when the owner died.
Yeah.
And he came from Cyprus.
So how old is she now then?
She's about 12 and a half.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
When the dolls' houses come in, what do you actually do to them?
I've got a handicraft house that came in, rather unusual, L-shaped one, and it was missing a bit of fretwork. And I got the local men in sheds to do a copy, which was brilliant. So they were quite interested in that. But it's nice because it's got original wallpapers and things.
What's the oldest doll's house you've ever sold or had in stock?
Well, I think the one in the corner is probably 1870, because when the 1880s or so, a lot of them are mass-produced. I'm trying to remember. I did have one which was sort of farmhouse shape, and the roof broke, and inside there's a little handwritten note, and I believe it said that it was in payment for a debt about 1860. So I mean, that was amazing. No one would have known if the roof hadn't broken.
Yeah.
I should have kept that.
How far afield do you send the dolls' houses?
I did have to send one to Joburg a couple of years ago, and unfortunately by air, because it wasn't time for it to go by sea, and it was for it was a sort of interior design company, and they had this rather rich client who wanted a doll's house for their child. So it was one of the Timberlina houses, you know, the ones with the terrace and things.
Have you ever had any famous customers?
Who was the actor who was Rumpole of the Bailey? Leo McKern. He used to live west of London, so he used to come into Marylebone, and he had a doll's house. I mean, a most unlikely person, and it was 3/4 scale, and he was in my Liston Grove shop once, and we met another actor. Judi Dench came in a couple of times. Oh yes, Barry Humphries came in. Oh, and we sold one of the, I think the corner shop. Oh, I can't remember her name. That was the week that was. The red-haired girl, singer. And it turned up in some film. She was filmed in her Connecticut house.
Oh, right.
With this corner shop that came from us.
Can you tell me how many dolls' houses you own?
Well, probably at least 25. I've lost count of how many I've got in the sitting room. I'll have to count them in a minute. And in the attic, I've got lots of boxes of antique furniture. And one of these years I must put the furniture in the houses and enjoy them properly. But you know, they're great fun. And I like the antique ones myself. My father was an antique dealer, and I like the chunkiness of them. But at the moment, people like to go for more and more fine detail.
Thank you so much for answering my questions. Is it okay if we go and have a look at some of the dolls' houses now?
This country cottage, I sold it originally when I was in Liston Grove, and when somebody sent me photographs I remembered. Quite sweet because it's got an Aga and a sink and a back window, back door. And I recognised it because it had in it a little American rocking chair, you know, where the base sits and the chair rocks. We sold it to somebody for their mother-in-law, who was in her 70s, and she had a cat. So we furnished it as if she was living in it. And we thought this was a safe rocking chair, it wouldn't squash the cat's feet. So that came full circle from several people. As I was saying before, my shop is very green. They're either antique or mostly second-hand. That's the one from Furniture Doll's House.
Oh, that's nice.
I spent about 18 months working on 6 different houses, which was fun. And the Georgian one is here.
Oh, that's nice. See if I can squeeze in a bit.
It's good to swing back.
Yeah. boxes.
These
do
two
they?
I'm keeping because they were in my book,
Mm.
Decorate a Doll's House.
Oh right.
And this is a
okay.
design from Build a Doll's House, because that had the different houses you could make from one design, and then this was a 6-room house.
That's lovely.
Quite fun learning. They didn't really bother with curtains. They just had fine net curtains to keep the sun out.
Oh right. Okay.
There's a hobbies one, that plain wood one, opens at the back.
That's nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
And cabinets full of dolls and
things.
bits.
Did you see this with the tapestry on there? That's sweet, isn't it?
And that looks old.
Yes, it's been repainted, unfortunately.
Right.
This little antique one at the top, with an outhouse at the side. It's painted bricks, you can't really see in this light.
Mm. And there's another one I like the look of tucked around there.
Oh yes, that's Georgian style.
Yeah.
It's not yours, isn't
It
it?
has to be a lift off front because the wall sticks out in front.
Right.
I thought this was the Lyons Brothers, but in fact I'm told it's by Turnbull. Got antique furniture in it, and some of the wallpapers, particularly the floors, are original.
I like the wicker.
It's sweet, isn't it?
Mm.
You see, the antique furniture is just that much chunkier, but I love it like that.
Yeah.
And often quite a lot of marble. I think there's marble on the washstand at the top floor, yeah.
And they always had such high ceilings, didn't they?
Mm-hmm. Now, I've seen photographs of other Turnbulls, but they're just 4 rooms, you know, not tall ones like this. This has got casters, and it's got original brick paper.
Mm. Is that embossed?
No, it's
I
just
was
printed
yeah, I
brick.
was just
Printed
wondering.
brick. That's why you can recognise it, but it's not lines.
Right, okay.
Original paper. That's just probably not papered. But it's funny because there's no door through.
Mm.
And it looks rather odd with all this lattice work on it, which I think I must paint brown. It might look better, but if you look inside,
Oh yes.
and open the left-hand side,
Mm.
it's quite sweet. I don't know its history. It came from somebody local.
It's got a lot of potential.
And then there's an outhouse at that end as well.
I open that. Oh yes.
This is probably so tatty it wouldn't matter doing it up, but look, you see, look at those, the original paper there, isn't that fun?
Mm. Someone's been naughty with a pencil there.
And they've got the Erna Meyer dolls behind you, the German ones on the bottom.
The clothes are really nice, aren't they?
You've got fabric faces. The only thing that lets them down is they haven't got proper hands.
Mm.
And the other things are all handmade. It's on original legs, but the only bit that's original and shows what it is this roof.
Mm.
But it's got some old furniture in it. Yeah. But you see, each bit opens separately. You've seen that. The little chairs are so sweet, aren't they?
Yeah.
Look. And pens. I haven't tried lifting this off before. Oh, look.
Oh, it's all the electrics. Oh, look at those. I haven't seen those before.
Oh, that's through there.
Oh, right. Oh, you've got little
I've got all the
fractal.
bedding. I can hide the bedding in there.
Yeah.
But it's full of clearware furniture. You know, there's plastic stuff.
Oh, yes.
And it's typically that where you have a separate, separate loo, and then the bathroom next door.
Oh, right.
Totally
That's
50s.
unusual. Yeah.
All the kitchen stuff's fallen over. But I'm selling that as it is because I think it's rather fun.
Mm.
It's got a musty smell to it too.
Yeah. Smells old.
That's a lines one I'm doing up. I've just got to put the brick paper down the sides.
And the two large white ones there, they're nice.
Mm-hmm. Oh, those turn up sometimes. I've got the moulded plastic windows, lift off front again.
And this one to the right looks old.
This one might have some paper in it. It had a... Is it stuck?
Is that, there's a little
Oh, there you go.
catch.
It had a bell. And because it's rough wood, it had paper on it and then painted on top. So I've got some lining paper. I must do that with. This one does need doing up.
You've got the light there.
Hmm.
I think it's got original wallpapers, isn't it?
What's that?
What's?
Oh, yeah, that's
Have a look at the fireplace. Down the right, bottom right. Get the torch. Oh, isn't that fun?
That's nice.
Mm.
And there's one up there as well. Oh, my shadow.
I think the paper's had it though. Yes.
Mm. Can I get that one from the front? I'll push that.
I think there's a bell pull on the outside. Is there?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Oh, that's nice.
Well, actually, the old-fashioned bell pull was just to have a chain that brings the bell.
I can get that from the front. Oh, mind you, I'm saying the front, but that was the front.
That was the front, yeah. That's what you're doing here.
And a huge one over in the corner there, the pink one.
Oh yes, that was made by German prisoners of war.
Oh, right.
There was a chap called Julius Caesar, apparently, who was an architect, because somebody came in later and they said they knew him. And he was in charge of rebuilding Hamburg docks. And he got the Germans to build a doll's house for his family. They never really appreciated it because they were bombed out of their small cottage and there wasn't much room for it.
Mm.
So eventually they sold it to me.
Oh, right. Okay, so that's it for today, and I really hope you've enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed having a look around the shop. Now, if you do want to come and have a look around the shop, please do phone and make an appointment ahead of time. Otherwise, Michal might not be here and you may have a wasted journey. As I said in my intro, the shop is in Northleach, in the heart of the Cotswolds, and there are loads of lovely places to visit in this area. So Matt and I are now going to have a browse around the town. So that's it for today. I'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye. As I said there at the end of the video, visits to the shop are by appointment only, so do get in touch with Michal Morse to arrange your visit. And I'll pop a link to her website in the description box below, where you'll find the telephone number and the address. If you've seen anything in the video that takes your fancy, do drop Michal a line, because she's very happy to send extra photographs and give you any information that you need. And you'll also find a contact email address on the website. I'll also pop a link to the Doll's House Facebook page below, so do pop along there and give the page a like. Now, as you saw there in the video, Michal Morse is the author of 3 Doll's House books, and if you like the look of them, you can find them for sale on Amazon. Just search for Michal Morse.